This is Keith Helwig from Cops Corrections Videos. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Today I'd like to talk about staff morale. Are you a cause or are you a cure? Now we all know the causes for low staff morale. Particularly in a correctional system, it's understaffing, it's underpaid, it's underappreciated. And on police departments, it's much the same thing. Although the pay is better in the majority of police departments, a lot of them are still understaffed. A lot of them are still underappreciated. I know in the local jurisdiction uh, that I live, the city department is probably 5 or 6 positions short. Now that doesn't sound like much, but when you only have a police department of 40 officers, that's a pretty great percentage. I was talking to an officer from Green Bay last summer, and he was telling me how many positions short they were. And a big factor is morale. Now, in the situation where I was talking to the individual from up north, they had a new chief in who brought a Los Angeles style of policing with him to Wisconsin. And as a result, a lot of officers left the department, a lot of officers retired early, things of that nature, and they're just having a hard time filling the positions. In fact, he told me at one time when they would advertise for positions open on their department, because it's a very well paying department, that they would get anywhere from 400 to 500 applicants. He said last time they put the test out, they had 70 applicants. Out of those, 20 of them passed the test, and nobody really got the job. Now, I know a local sheriff's department here is pretty much up to staff. I know an individual just lost their job on the department for reasons that I'm not going to go into here. But even there's a problem with morale. The prison system, morale is absolutely horrible in the Wisconsin prison system, as I'm sure it is in most systems nationwide. There again, the causes of it are low staff to inmate ratio, working conditions, and in Wisconsin, pay. Now, we all have to live with it. We have to live with what we're being paid. We have to live with the situations that we're put in if we choose to stay with those departments. And this is where it comes in for poor morale. Are you a cause or are you a cure? Are you the type of person when somebody says, hey pal, how's it going? You just say, nah, living the dream. Or, I'm here. You know what? That's part of the cause. Your attitude is part of the cause of staff morale if you have an attitude like that. Now, I'm not saying you have to walk around all happy all day long. I had a lieutenant that did that, and to be honest with you, it did help raise morale, but there were people who were ready to strangle him by the end of the day. You know, it was my belief as a captain, if somebody walked up by me and they said, hey, Cap, how's the day going? I'd say something positive. I'd try to keep it positive. I think that's what we need to do. You know, there was the old 12-step program, fake it till you make it. Well, that's almost the way you have to be sometimes. You know, we need good morale. We need to work together. We need to all be on the same team. We don't need somebody coming in every day looking like they just took a bite out of a turd sandwich and that they're blowing their stinky breath on you. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants Mr. Happy all the time. Well, let's be honest. In corrections and in law enforcement in general on the streets or whether behind the bars, it's a pretty decent job. It's pretty stable. You know, you put up with a lot of things that the general public doesn't put up with, but those are things that you understand when you take the job. When you take the job, if you think you're immune to inmates throwing body fluids at you, or if you're a cop on the streets, if you think you're immune to the citizenry making false allegations against you, you're sadly mistaken. You should come into the job with the expectations that that's going to happen. If you come into the job expecting 5 days a week, 8 to 4, weekends and holidays off, good luck with that, because it's not going to happen in law enforcement, whether you're behind the bars or whether you're on the street. It's just not going to happen. You're going to be working weekends. You're going to be working holidays. But there again, it's what you make of it. It's what you do with your time. You know, I don't know, for 36 years, I can't say all 36 years, but for a great part of the 36 years I worked in corrections, we celebrated our Christmas a couple days early or a couple days late. We celebrated Easter a couple days early, a couple days late. We'd celebrate birthdays a couple days early, a couple days late. There are numerous occasions where I was able to get off finally later in life when I had the seniority, and we'd celebrate Christmas on Christmas, Easter on Easter, birthdays on birthdays, things of that nature. But you've got to go into it expecting that you're going to be working a lot of those holidays. It's not like working in a factory, whether it's at a prison or whether it's on a police department, that they can just shut the machine off and go home. Somebody has to be there. So when you think about morale in your institution, or if you think about morale in your department, think about, am I the cause or am I the cure? Can I raise morale by my responses, whether I'm an officer, a sergeant, a lieutenant, a captain? What can you do to raise the morale in your department? We all have individual responsibilities on our job. I think we all have an individual responsibility to make our workplaces decent workplaces. This is Keith Helwig from Cops Corrections. Until next time, stay safe and watch your back.